Pinarello, an Italian bicycle manufacturer of unapologetic quality. Dogma, a principle or set of principles laid down by an authority as incontrovertibly true. Put the two together and you have a formidable combination that sparks excitement in the people lucky enough to ride one and strikes fear into their rivals. In 2010, Pinarello developed the Dogma 2 for Team Sky. This partnership proved to be a match made in heaven. Sky's marginal gains approach, coupled with Pinarello's tireless quest for perfection, quickly brought success when Bradley Wiggins rode the Dogma 65.1 Think 2 to victory at the Tour de France in 2012. 2 years later, Pinarello reinvented the look of the modern road bike when the Dogma F8 arrived looking like something from the future. Adding an aerodynamic profile to their tube shapes with dropped seat stays and keeping Pinarello's famous asymmetric design, the F8 could do it all. And won it all. The Dogma F10 came next, further refining the bike's aerodynamics, stiffness, handling, and ability to dominate the Grand Tours. And then, after more than a decade of development, Pinarello released the Dogma F12, perfecting the do-it-all racing road bike. But they didn't stop there. Not content with having the winningest frame set in recent Grand Tour history, Pinarello has further refined their top-of-the-range offering. The quest for a lighter, stiffer frame set with better aerodynamic performance is relentless. Introducing the Pinarello Dogma F. Created to partner the F12 and give riders two options that sit at the top of the Pinarello range. But how do these two dogmas compare? A real-world test is required. Perhaps a comparative time trial. But it must be performed by a true connoisseur, an experienced bicycle racer, someone who lives and breathes Pinarello.
Am I introducing myself? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan and I work at Sigma Sports in the bike sales department. I ride road bikes mostly and have gravel bikes and get involved in local racing and generally just sort of ride with friends. No clubs because nobody likes me. This is the Pinarello Dogma F12 disc brake. Over the years, I've been lucky to own the Dogma F8, the Dogma F10, and now the Dogma F12 rim brake. I think Pinarello is a really, really good choice when it comes to buying at the higher end. There have been so many sizes available, and there's a big emphasis on bike fit here at Sigma. It doesn't really matter where it might come out. There's 11 different frame sizes, lots and lots of different handlebar width and stem length combinations, as well as 2 different seat post options. So you can have a perfect bike fit, or if you're the opposite end of that, again, you can achieve the bike fit. When the F12 was released, I had so much confidence in the brand and the model, all the sizes that were available, that I knew I could go straight onto that, and all I was going to feel was the improvements again in all the stiffness, the comfort and the reduced weight. In terms of handling, like cornering at high and low speeds, it's really, really predictable. There's a lot of stiffness in the head tube, so confidence to sort of bank the bike over, but equally if you're out of the saddle, like riding the bike really hard, it goes exactly where you point it. I would say that the Dogma F12 is the best bike I've ever ridden until.
We found the perfect candidate to test these two bikes. Dan has owned every Dogma since the F8 and now owns an F12 of his very own. So, how did Dan's first few rides on the new Dogma F feel?
My first impressions of this bike, I was really, really excited to jump on it and get going. Sort of blown away by the acceleration, the comfort, the agility of it. Yeah, it's a really, really good bike. I'm very, very impressed. In fairness, I was apprehensive. The F12 had set the bar so high with everything that I'd experienced on it that I wasn't really sure how they could improve on the Dogma, but everything with the F so far has come to life and I'm really, really impressed by it. Pinarello still respect the fact that people want to make a choice, and this bike is available in rim brake and disc brake. So if you're looking to upgrade from F12 and experience all the new features, you can literally carry everything across from a pre-existing rim brake model. But equally it's available in disc and will support all the latest group sets. They share the same iconic Dogma look. This has got improved aerodynamics, reduced weight, with increased compliance, comfort. The frame kit in Dogma F is 265 grams lighter in a comparable size, 53 centimetre to 53 centimetre. Or put another way, this Dogma F is much lighter than my very own Dogma F12 rim brake. So a real improvement on where disc brake bikes are going.
Oh, hello. Said it.
And I admitted it. One thing that's noticeable straight away on F is the slim down profiles, especially towards the seat post area. And this translates to a much better ride quality in terms of comfort. The integration at first look is exactly the same. However, when it comes to building the bike, the headset internally has been redesigned, so it's a little bit easier to put together, but there's also a weight saving because of that new design. So within the seat post, some of the 27 grams is saved because of the 3D printed titanium clamp. It's the first time that Pinarello have released this to the public. It was otherwise only available to their pro team. This bike is super desirable. Above the speed and the comfort, it really does have the look good, feel good factor. I'd say this is going to be a lot of people's dream bike. When you get the chance to experience F, you're certainly most likely going to convert. Everything that was so great about Dogma F12 is now just gotten even better. So the biggest question now is, how do these two bikes compare?
To compare the two Dogmas in the real world, we've designed a rolling 6.5 or 4 mile time trial, taking precautions and always obeying the highway code. Sufficiently warmed up, Dan will now ride the time trial route on each bike as hard as he can. A toss of a coin has decided that he'll ride the Dogma F first.
Nine minutes 39 is the benchmark set by the F, so F12 has got a lot to live up to on that course. Got a bit of everything. It's rolling, there's fast open bits, wind's up today, so obviously an aero bike, perfect choice. Yeah, let's see how we go with F12. Well, it was slower. I could just feel it. I wasn't really paying much attention to the clock, just riding on feel. 1.2 miles an hour slower, but it's still, you know, very quick. It's just that the F is faster and slightly higher maximum speed. But overall, the average was 23.8 as opposed to 25 dead on last time. 10 minutes 4 seconds is 25 seconds though to my rough maths. But yeah, ride quality is like now having gone backwards, if you like. Definitely firmer and just harder to sort of hold your own across the sort of rougher surfaces. And out of the 3 hard left-handers, it just felt a little bit bogged down compared to the F. So the F was straight back up to speed. Once they got to speed, it's very fine margins, I think, other than the comfort. But yeah, all round, it's really surprising.
So, what did this connoisseur think of the two bikes, and which would he choose?
Both bikes are a masterpiece in their own right. Owning one of these bikes is an incredible achievement. They're both, you know, unbelievable, you know, pieces of engineering. Since the Dogma F is just that bit stiffer and that bit lighter, it makes sense for anybody racing or riding hills when it comes to acceleration to own this bike. When it comes to purchasing either of these bikes, this would be my choice. I mean, it goes without saying that I'd want a bike that is going to be lighter and more comfortable for longer periods of time. They both ride incredible, but it's just that extra bit more special. I'd be delighted with either of these bikes, but the Dogma F just shades it just that tiny little bit for me, with slightly sleeker looks and obviously all the improvements in terms of its ride quality.
And so the evolution of the Dogma has seen constant innovation, ensuring every version produced thus far has been a masterpiece of all-round road bike design and engineering. Or to put it another way, whatever the model, you'll be hard-pressed to find a Dogma owner who wants to ride anything else.